Alright, welcome back to D&D. So, last time you had managed to free Fiffle from being frightened by the creature. You then were able to kind of loop it around while collecting the resources you need. Ran into a few traps in hallways you had previously cleared that hadn't been there before. Eventually, you're able to lure the monster in after discovering how to get it into the actual, open up the door itself. Got it into the teleportation circle. Fiffle ran to collect more of the vials that you needed to actually spill onto the creature to destroy it, where he was then greeted by a member of the Wild Hunt who kind of taunted him, showing him the vial that he needed, sticking it into his pocket, and then running to kill Fern, which he gave the old college try. Got her with 3 arrows right in the chest right at the start of the fight. You were able to kill the hunting hounds. Fiffle was able to pick the pocket of the hunter. The hunter ran away, and you're able to spill the formula onto the creature, teleport it away, and destroy it. You suspect.
We did the researcher's duty. I think we were gonna explore this room for anything of like significance, specifically ascertaining to not being melted by a sonic weapon.
Yep. All right. Give me an investigation roll then.
I can do this.
I will assist you.
Thank you. Press the thing. I think the weirdness I was talking about with Roll20 was through D&D Beyond, so hopefully this won't be as bad.
It did have there was always a strangeness when Rami was playing.
Yeah.
All right. Looking around the room, you don't see anything that you find particularly out of the ordinary. The room itself has a large teleportation circle. You can see this horrifying green light from below. You're not sure how far below it goes. Looking at the teleportation circle itself, you see that it has only one single input. So it looks like this circle is connected to one simple other circle. Where that could be, you're not entirely sure.
Output. Yeah. It's one way then, pretty much, maybe. Could I tell by looking at it now that I am not stressed to fend off a...
Yeah. Anybody proficient in Arcana, please go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
That's not me.
Y2. At least it's that 18's first this time.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that this teleportation circle is going to only connect to one single one. From the way you can take a look, it is meant to be a very short range one that is acting as teleportation between 2 separate floors. So it's basically a 1-to-1, just a magic hallway.
Magic one way? Okay.
Or not a 1-to-1.
Oh.
So you suspect that the other teleportation circle on the other end would then be able to bring you back if needed.
I will relay this and just also relay my concern that what if it comes back? We didn't see anything that would be an actual physical connection to here, right?
In what way do you mean that?
Like stairs, just.
No, you did not see any stairs.
So it might be the only way is to teleport. Okay. Let's get out of here and maybe lock the door. And should we... And then I guess thoroughly warn everybody about this thing. I'm getting the hell out of here. Also. Yeah. Let's take a look around, researcher, for stuff.
Oh, okay.
I assume that we can lock it now that we have the key.
Yep. You have the magic key that lets you lock and unlock it.
Okay, so we'll lock it, and in dramatic fashion of like freaking comedy, I'm just gonna put a bunch of like furniture in the way too.
Okay.
I'm kidding, but
Well, you have access to quite a bit of furniture.
So that's, can we thoroughly investigate like the research area and his room? I don't know.
Yes. Which one would you like to investigate first?
Research area first.
Okay. I'll give you the brief overview. So the description of the room, there would be just a kind of orb within the center. There were a number of, there's the 2 tables in the corner that had these old desiccated bodies. They look like they've been prepped for dissection. There were a number of tables set around with research equipment on it, books, vials. There's also these large glass containers. Inside are these strange bodies that are kind of humanoid in shape, floating within this strange green liquid.
These bodies, do they look like they were experimented on? Possibly sonically, anything like that?
Make either a medical check or an arcana check, depending on what you are proficient in. These bodies do not appear as if they were experimented on as much as they are themselves an experiment.
Gotcha.
They are almost look to you like a very strangely built flesh golem.
Horrifying.
Do they just look like they're suspended, or they never were created? Are they, I guess, in this quote-unquote alive?
They don't appear to be moving. It looks almost as if they were dipped into some sort of body preservation liquid, like formaldehyde.
Is there anything describing like the process that maybe Graham can read around here? What they were aiming for?
Give me an investigation roll to see if you can just determine if you're able to find anything of that nature.
You want to do that, or you want me to do that?
There we go. I got it. 22.
Yeah, Graham, you're able to find a bunch of loose scraps of paper. Now, a lot of the paper has disintegrated over the years, but you are able to find yourselves a nice sheet of thick papers. All of it is written in Old Arwellan. You're able to make out a number of different basically ideas that have been kind of jotted down onto these papers, discussing the creation of a new process of making basically clones, in essence, to create like the you would be familiar with a very high level spell for making clones, and this was an attempt to create that spell but much easier. The large number of just X's across the various notes to you seems to indicate that that might have been a failure.
What sort of things were they trying? Can I tell?
That you're not sure about. This is the actual specifics and details. They are written in Old Arwellan, but it is completely nonsensical to you. It seems to be some sort of a code.
Gotcha. Interesting. Worth holding on to. Or writing down if it's not holding on toable. Okay. Nah, I got nothing.
Anything else of like that we're looking for other than that?
I mean, you find a number of notes about different experiments that have failed, mentioning the more extreme experiments that have been sent lower for disposal.
Always lower. These fuckers tunnel to hell.
Actually, Give me one final investigation roll.
I'll assist you.
Can I get assist? Well, I'll try.
I mean, I can do it. I can do a separate if not.
Well, yeah, one person roll it. Okay. Graham, and I gotta find this fella's name.
Zach Feller.
You do find some notes shuffling through. It seems to be that as you kind of like go through the note, you find just one kind of loose scrap piece of paper that is less experimental, talking about what was done here. More, it looks like a memo complaining, mentioning that after the research levels that are implied to be the silence, that there is one final level below that belongs to one of the researchers engaging in infernal research.
Is it what's his bucket? The dickhead from the hive mind memories?
You did find him within the hive mind itself, but this is actually a different researcher.
Okay, so
And
it's not that
I am
guy.
trying to find the fella's name.
We'll just call him Mr. Thunderballs.
But yes, the person you are thinking of is Crexon.
Crexon. And he was also famous for being the guy that got killed as a lich by the founding Crossblades members.
He was killed by the founding Crossblades members. He was not a lich, however.
Oh, okay. Not a lich, but he was
The other guy was the Lich.
He was our claim to fame. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know we had a nice lich, at least so far. He seemed cool.
Yeah, Sandro was the lich you had found.
I remember he was a lich, separate. Cool.
I gotta remember to highlight these names so I can find out where these people are. I will try and find the name, but yes, the person, you did find them within the memory. He was a apprentice to Zaffeller and a contemporary to Sandro, Misa, and Sorik. But he's noted as being a foremost expert in infernal research. That being said, the memo you find complains, mentioning that there should have been, that level should have been also put in for their research and not his. Seems to be more of an office squabble.
Ah, yes. Tales old as time. Okay. Graham will relay all that. Not sure quite yet what to make of it.
The infernal researcher in question, his name is Keegan.
Egan. Okay, do I recognize that name?
Only from the singularity.
Okay. I was gonna say I could try history, but
If you'd like, you can roll a history roll.
might as well.
It would be a higher D.
Never mind.
It's a higher DC, yeah. So
Yeah.
You're familiar with the fact that the Arwellan Empire did engage in infernal research that was controversial. As for any specific person and their contributions to the field, you cannot think of anybody off the top of your head at this time. You'd probably have to reference some historical books if needed.
Gotcha. Well, I can. The name rings a bell, but I can't place it, so we'll have to circle on back to that one later. For now, I'm kind of coming up dry on ideas, fellas. I just need to keep on keeping on.
Would the infernal research actually be tied to what we're looking for, though?
I think it could well be, because what's his bucket had. Well, no, he was working with the Blade one, so that's not infernal. That's more eldritch. But it's worth looking into. Like, if we don't find anything up here, Graham will make a copy of the research notes to the best of his ability.
Okay.
was there possibly Graham possibly come into any documentation how to counter the silence? Is it natural or is it like?
Give me an Arcana check to try and sort through the different. Basically, okay. With Graham's help to translate, you were able to determine the silence itself is not natural. It is created through a combination of magic and specially designed acoustics within the levels that you're on themselves. It was meant to be able to stop anything that is magically active from being a lot stronger than it is. It has been wearing off. As the research notes you determine find that it is almost perfect. There are the occasional sound bubbles, but the frequency is once every few months it notices, and you've been experiencing them once every few minutes to hours.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So does it lay down? Well, I guess I don't know this, but I was going to ask, like, does it lay down any of the underpinnings of how it works and how it might be disabled?
That is all kind of placed within the coded version.
Gotcha.
Could we work together to figure out to decipher the code?
Yeah, you suspect that if you had enough research assistance, you could probably break the code in maybe like 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hold up my chalkboard to Graham is like with an arrow pointing up. They can figure it out.
Graham nods.
All right.
I was hoping for immediate kind of solution, at least temporary, to help us out.
Yeah.
Can we theater of the mind just like investigate the whole floor, just like for what we're looking for specifically before we decide we have to go downstairs?
I think we're gonna have to, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm praying not, but I don't want to see the sunlight.
40.
All right. How do we do this? How would you like us to?
Give me just 3 investigation rolls.
Okay. All of us?
Just one person.
Okay.
And
Can
we're
we
gonna
roll
take-
with advantage?
We're going to take the better of the best of the 3.
Okay.
So it's like
I'll
super
roll it, don't
advantage.
So no advantage. 19, 11, 8.
Okay. Looking through, taking your time searching the rest of this floor, you find not a tremendous amount of information. But looking through the floor, you do find that there had been more that had been kind of dumped down here. You find evidence of experiments that had existed and were relatively recent. Most of them are bones, however, that have been chewed upon.
As you do.
You search throughout the researcher's bedroom, who was on this level previously. You don't find a tremendous amount of information, but yeah, it does look like, from what you can ascertain and from what you were told previously, that any experiment that would be not something that could be easily dealt with would be tossed down here, and the more dangerous it is would be thrown to a lower level.
Put it over there.
Exactly.
So same old, same old. That sounds of it. Alright. So yeah, I think we gotta go down. Are we ready
Seems
to
like
go
that's
down? Do we
our
need to
fate.
rest? I'm not sure how much of my resources you wound up using last time.
Probably a lot. We were running around fighting that monster for quite a while. Devil could use boost. See it in the face.
All right, so So we basically are going to be on the same floor as this dumpster enemy again.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe there's a way to kill it down there.
Oh wait, we just teleported it where we're going?
Yeah.
Basically.
God damn it.
Yeah. You know how we can kill it, Graham? With loneliness.
I mean, it hasn't worked on me yet, so.
This creature is not Britney Spears. Its loneliness is not killing it.
What if you send Justin Timberlake down there? Better line.
Interesting strategy.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
See if it pays off for
For the conservatorship.
that'll really kill it. Do we want to rest before we go down there? I don't remember if we were on a time limit.
I don't know.
We're on a time limit, but I don't think we've been down here long enough for it to kill us. We had like something like a week from hearing the tone, and it's been maybe 2 days, I want to say.
It's only been like 2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's if we want to recover our resources. I'm just like throwing that out there.
It's something to keep in mind.
And you fellas no longer are concentrating on your spells.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Yeah, let's make some place secure and take a long rest. Did we finish exploring down here? You might have to zoom out the map.
You explored basically the whole of this map.
Okay.
I can actually see what. There's like one room you didn't go into.
I figured like during our mass exploration we would fall in there. That's why.
Yeah, we should probably check that out.
Let's reveal the area. All right. There you go.
Enjoy.
It's probably a good spot to actually rest up to because it's one way. Is that another throne there? So how did I do that?
Ping it on the map if you could, please.
Yeah, it's in the opposite side of the one we went to. This one.
Yeah. Yep, they like their thrones in the Orwellan Empire.
I was gonna say, do we need to set on 2 thrones at once? Because now we're going. I might as well just go full crazy. Does it like a click happen?
Do you set 2 different people on the thrones?
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, I remember it worked in Baldur's Gate. It can work here.
You sit upon the thrones, and the disintegration spell that strikes you, you realize is simply an illusion.
Darn. I was hoping to get out of this. The struggle was real.
Just like end me.
Okay, let's just have a... Let's have a long rest, I guess.
Okay. Where are you holding up?
I think the one in the east.
The actual lab itself, right there?
Yeah, we explored that. No, that's just the bedroom.
Okay. Well, as it turns out, the bedroom has a bed.
Yeah.
The mattress is rather old. It's not as nice as you'd hope. Very moth-eaten. But a little bit of it remains. It's softer than the stone you've been walking across for the entirety of your adventure so far.
Graham will do another look around just in this area. Can I roll investigate just to make sure?
Yeah.
I will assist him.
Okay. 20.
Okay. Looking around, you do find in a cupboard. This one is sealed, more so than the others. It's not latched. And you do find that there are some old blankets in there that have survived the years a lot better. They're definitely old and musty.
Old for smallpox.
Yeah, they don't appear to have been like torn apart and eaten by moths and other animals.
Okay. Well, it's something. Graham will leave them in there for now because we have camping gear, and just make a note that they're in there, and they might be valuable to people who study tapestries and such, or old textiles.
Okay.
I'm a textile answer.
Okay. So who is on first shift?
I'll take first.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anybody who is staying up with you?
I don't know.
I can do whatever shit.
How many are we doing? 3, 2, 4, 5. So we can't do three twos.
We've been abandoned by our fellow comrades.
Dungeons and shift work.
This would be. Yeah, this would be more akin to 3 shifts of about 2.5 hours each.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, we're just basically waiting for the door to open. So.
Graham will, I guess, roll perception.
Yep.
Perceive that door.
16.
All right, Graham. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything. Your shift passes without incident. You and Fern simply stay up for your shift and are able to. Yeah. You're able to go through it without any trouble.
Right.
I guess Aurora could go with someone.
Alright, I will have 3 taps then. 3 taps who, having missed every shot with her crossbow in the previous fight, you had seen her just kind of like throw it on the ground and stomp on it. She is now carrying a rather badly damaged, splintered crossbow that is definitely going to need a lot of work.
Would Graham be able to fix it during rest by casting Mending on it?
Yeah, you'd be able to.
Graham will fix the crossbow.
Okay.
Here's the wording in case it doesn't.
Yeah,
it isn't doable.
You're able to fix it enough that it could be used as a crossbow. That being said, the damage that 3-tap did to it in her frustration had not been properly like put back together. It was just kind of so splintered that the crossbow looks a little warped. It is back together enough, but it would definitely need to go to somebody who can like a blacksmith who can actually set the sights for it again. 3-tap, she thanks you, but she tells you that she is going to just stick with her sword from now on.
Understandable.
As that is, the crossbow has proven to be difficult.
Graham is sympathetic to this.
All right, so yeah, we'll have Aurora and 3-tap. So go ahead and roll for Aurora. I'll roll for 3-tap. Yep, 3-tap completely doesn't see nothing. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Mad at the crossbow.
Wisdom? Is that what it is?
Perception, yeah, it would be a wisdom.
Nice.
All right. Aurora kind of looks around, keeps her ears perked up, but she does not notice anything. Over the course of 3-taps in Aurora's their shift on watch, they notice nothing, and they are able to pass it without incident.
Me and Tiffle?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Here's perception.
You see the 87 were-sharks that snuck into the room.
Are they interns?
They're outturns.
This is unbelievable.
All right. Yeah, no, you don't notice anything. It's perfectly fine.
Well, Tiffle. Tiffle noticed anything?
Maybe.
Yeah, Fiffle is paranoid, wide-eyed, completely on his game. He doesn't notice anything.
He's not getting his chest ripped open like 3-taps, that's for sure.
Yeah, the door does not open. You certainly don't hear anything.
Right.
But yeah, you are able to go through your long rest without issue.
Hooray! We're back to normal. I mean, as normal can be.
Let me push the long rest button.
This is a good button.
It is.
It's a good addition.
I think that went through. Did it?
Yeah, probably. If you check your spell page, it should have.
Yeah, that'll tell me.
Yep.
Yes, mostly.
Okay, so let's, I guess, go to this teleporter over here.
Okay.
I assume there wasn't any further news last session about things we can expect in there that might change my spell slot prep or anything.
No.
I'll be real. I suck at spell prep, so I try to just go with the same set as much as possible.
Yeah, you didn't get any new information as far as I can remember.
The only information we would have got was from the research area.
Beware the two-armed guy. It wasn't me, it was the two-armed man. A likely story.
Alright. So yes, Otto, you unlock the door with the magic key.
And promptly ripped to shreds.
The shreds, you say?
You destroy the key. Or you yourself are ripped to shreds.
I'm just saying, I am ripped to shreds by the thing that was just waiting at the door patiently.
Yeah, you open the door, you don't see anything. You remain unshredded.
Okay. Alright, I guess I'll lead the way, like, you know, waving my, like, dealing with the sword in case I hit something that's invisible.
Okay. You don't find anything as you wave your sword in the air in front of you.
Okay, let's get to the teleporter, I guess.
Okay. And all of you are standing on the circle at once?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
3-Tap joins you. She has sword in hand.
Is her sword is it just a regular sword or is it like a special?
It's a short sword. It's just some random short sword from the design of it. It's pretty old.
From Goblin Kind. Goblin Kind's the biggest treasure down here. Okay. I guess I put my hand on the thingy-majiggy bob and off we go. Maybe,
Okay.
maybe not.
You hit the switch to activate the teleporter, and you immediately feel the strange sensation of teleporting. You felt it before, as you have been teleported previously. This quickly passes, and you find yourself on a second teleportation platform somewhere else. You immediately notice that there are these kind of chunks. Some are visible, some are semi-translucent, slowly becoming visible, of some horrifying creature. The head split in half into a giant mouth. It looks like from the teleportation of last time, especially having coated it with the vial that it was weak to, has just torn apart this creature completely.
No. Is it still moving?
Does not appear to be.
Well, I guess we can put that one down as a success.
The actual room you find yourself in has a similar door to the one that you entered in to get to the first teleportation circle. This one does not appear to be locked, however.
Okay. And definitely silency, right?
Yeah, it's quiet down there. You cannot hear any sounds at all.
My question is there a, I know it appears dead. Do we have the same, like, bottomless pit thing here that goes into the green that we know of?
You do not see anything of that nature. You do see above you an eerie green light.
Okay, so the green light is between the two teleporters.
It appears to be, yes.
Okay. Because if it was like another green thing down there, I was just gonna push him down just to make sure the body comes back.
Long live the king.
You knew exactly what I was gonna do, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to see this thing anymore. Okay.
Hypervigilance simulator. Graham is actually going to try to study it now that it's dead. He's not going to get close to anything that could, mangle him if it makes a death grab.
Yeah.
But he wants to take some researchy notes on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll help him. I'll lead, like, what does it, like...
investigation, maybe, because
What
he's
creatures
more or
it,
less
like-
autopsying as
What
much.
creatures it looks like it might be merged with, like what, like anything like that.
Yeah, this can be done a couple of different ways, depending on you. If you are proficient in Arcana, you can do an Arcana check, or you can either do a medicine check or an investigation check. Each of them would give you different information about it.
Graham's going to do investigation because he's hypothetically good at that.
I will Arcana this because I'm supposed to be good at this.
Okay.
What
Jeez.
the? Wow!
Can I
hit
get
it twice.
the halfling wink and nudge?
You got it.
I mean, at least I was Arcana key.
That's
Alright.
better.
We'll start with Graham. So yeah, Graham, looking over the creature, you can definitely see now that it is becoming visible, that it is something that you do not notice anything that would indicate that it had been kind of made by just kind of merging creatures together, but it does look like it was something that had been maybe previously discovered and then bred to be larger. Where it actually came from, you could not say for sure. But it does look like it's not necessarily entirely from being created by a wizard, and that it definitely appears to be from a location outside of the material plane.
This thing ain't anything local to our world, I can tell you that. Graham will write down as best he can, and hopefully he doesn't read like Maximilian Roivus's notes in Eternal Darkness.
And that's just Graham's. I got my 20 Arcana.
Yep. So, Otto, your 20 Arcana, you can determine that, especially with Graham's information, yes, this creature does not appear to be from the material plane. It isn't like a merge of two different creatures together, like an owlbear would be. Magic was used in its creation in some way. You suspect by increasing its size and durability and even its just aggression. The actual creation itself is reminiscent of some sort of monster. It's like a mutation of an existing monster. With this information, Graham or Otto, give me a history check.
I will try
How
history.
you?
Alright. Once again, I'm supposed to be good at these, but the dice tend to say
Can I
otherwise.
help?
Like that.
Well, unfortunately, get the halfling roll again because
Can I
it's
help
past
him?
6
I was
seconds.
gonna say, can I do the action help on him to like maybe?
Well,
Give him like a shoulder rub while he's doing a history check.
Like just like maybe he gets like to a point where he's just like that's not it, and it's like, are you sure? Like just like point out something that maybe he might have overlooked.
Like one of those Black Dynamite brainstorming on the board things.
Makes me wish I kept guidance, but nah.
The Riddler.
Graham, you are almost you're very certain that this creature is not what you think it is. This is, but it does appear to be related. It appears to be some sort of creature related to what you suspect to be a Tarrasque.
Ooh, that explains why it's so hard to kill.
Wait, what? We've been kiting a Tarrasque?
It's some sort of Tarrasque-like abomination.
Yeah, like a Tarrasque itself would be about the size of, like a castle.
Right.
This one was
This
like
is
the
not-
size of a horse.
A baby Tarrasque, if you will.
The Basque. Wait. And then just looking at its like how durable it is there any way to like use this into crafting or like modifying equipment we can make to like make it ourselves this durable?
The creature itself, the teleportation that you've done, the way you dumped all the formula on it and teleported it, it has been kind of ripped apart. You could try and use survival to extract some surviving portions of it to see.
I like burn.
Okay.
I'll help wherever. I'll help her like maybe locate like the area, like a nice like non-messed up area.
Okay.
Then survival.
Yeah, this would just be a flat survival roll, even with it would initially be a disadvantage. With Otto's help, it just puts it to flat. Yeah, Fern, you're not able to get your knife to actually cut into the parts of this creature that get to the armor. This creature is just so tough that your knife is just not able to pierce through.
That's Tarrasque, all right. That's all right. It's fascinating in a horrible way, but I reckon I'm kind of used to that.
I had a feeling that that was just like a long
Worth a go.
Could I do like a nature roll to try to figure out a better way to do it?
I will let you do a nature roll. This will be a disadvantage because this creature is not natural.
The natural creatures.
This creature is something from outside of the material plane or the Feywild, from some distant realm, and it has been altered with magic. Even after that,
can I tell what kind of magic altered it?
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
I'm gonna guess transmutation or some shit.
I hit the button. Button. Confound you, button.
Button.
I'm gonna hit it again. Watch like 5 of them come out.
Minion buttons.
You are able to confirm, as Graham has theorized, it is in fact transmutation. Along with some additional work, you do see the telltale sign of, you suspect, necromantic spells use it as well.
Interesting.
Based off of this, at least, can I ascertain that maybe we can replicate the transmutation to maybe use it on our own armor at some point in the future?
With that 22, this would have to be done on a living creature. And as for what spells were actually done, you can only determine the school that they're from. You don't know how to actually cast those spells themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this would probably be somebody's master's thesis / mad scientist project, if anything.
Yeah. Okay. Would I be able to like intelligently explain this to like the scholars up there?
You could give a pretty decent overview of the magic, at least the basics of it. The actual nitty-gritty specifics would be outside of your expertise.
Yeah. I mean, I would just, like lead them into like the way to do this, and then I would be interested once they solve it, if they solve it.
Yeah. Graham is writing it down as best he can.
Yeah, I'll explain it like in my chalkboard to him as best I also can.
Yeah, between all of us, Graham is going to write down the most, like, as much of what we understand as possible.
What the heck did I do? What did I do this? Okay, there we go. I opened up all of my abilities, and it's just a mass of like scrolling down.
I roll to open my chakra.
Yes. All right. I guess we're done with Mr. Babask over here.
Okay.
Mini Tarrasque.
But it's Tarrasque-like.
Mini Scree.
As for where it came from, how they even got a hold of it.
It's the greatest. It's the Serpent of Ronka's baby. That's what I felt like.
I love that little bastard.
Alright, but yeah, so there is the door that appears to be the only way out, or forward, I suppose.
Okay.
Let's investigate our way for traps, and off we go, I guess.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll to just look for traps.
Am I being assisted?
Yeah.
Alright. Excuse me. You do not see any traps. Looking around, this area looks like older. Doesn't appear to be anything immediately dangerous as far as you can see.
Okay. And we're doing theater of mind here. So okay, let's.
Well, actually, now we can go to.
Oh no.
So, as you open the door, you see a staircase kind of leading down into this additional area. You notice right away there are no lights.
I can see a bit, so.
Yeah, anybody with dark vision is able to see. And I believe, Graham, you still have your candle on your hat.
Yep.
So you were
Which
able
was
to...
the style at the time.
So,
I think only Fern doesn't have dark. No, she does, right?
No. Aurora has it, though.
When we get back, I'm buying you goggles of dark vision.
We got dark vision at home.
Well, I know Pippo has my goggles of dark vision that I used to have, so.
Yeah.
I could use Beast Sense on Aurora and see through her eyes.
It's a spell though, so it's probably.
I know.
We'll save your spells. Alright. I will. I guess.
with dark vision, you would see some strange marks on the ground. Because it's all black and white through dark vision, you're not sure what it is. However, with Graham's candle, as he goes through and casting light, you can tell that it is blood.
How fresh is it?
Give me a medicine check.
What color is it?
The blood appears to be red. The blood, it's not fresh, as it doesn't like come off on your fingers that easily, but for how old it actually is, you cannot say for sure.
Is it magical in nature, perhaps?
Fern, you're able to tell that this blood is probably a couple months old, and something has been this way several months ago to kind of create this blood. Otto, give me an Arcana check if you would like to check if it is magical. The blood itself, difficult to say. If it came from the blood does not have magic upon it. If it came from a magical creature, you're not able to determine that right now.
Okay. Can I investigate this room?
Yeah. As you take a look around, you can see that the room itself is a kind of large-ish open room that kind of has a tunnel kind of heading north a little bit. You also see that there is a small tunnel almost to the west in a section that has been a wall that has been kind of smashed open and broken down.
I'm gonna investigate my way that way and take a look at the wall to see maybe I can tell the time that was smashed. Smashed.
Okay. To determine that, just give me an investigation roll. Whatever came through here and smashed on this wall and created this kind of like thin tunnel, it was probably many years ago, as the wall itself has a thick layer of dust on it, and you can see cobwebs, and it has definitely had time to settle, so you suspect that it's probably at least a few decades, possibly even centuries, but you could not say beyond that.
If I look into this like makeshift tunnel, I guess it's just dead end, and it's something beat the crap out of the wall and it ends.
You can see I'm trying to get this open for you. That's what you can currently see. You can see that there are old bones kind of scattered across the ground.
What kind of are these humanoid bones?
Give me a medicine check.
Found it. I'm very medical. Let's do this. Dr. Otto is on the job here.
I have a PhD.
You're not able to determine these creatures' bones. The bones themselves are odd. You do find one set of what you kind of lift up a old broken skull, and it looks like two heads that had fused together.
Can any of us do medicine as well, or just auto?
Nope. If anybody, so long as you have, well, you can do a medicine check as long as there's light. Otherwise, that would be a disadvantage. But I'm assuming, you know,
Yeah.
Graham's kind of
Are we
hovering
all
around with
going
you.
there? Okay.
Bless siblings.
Bless brothers.
Mine is very good.
You're not able to determine what creature it came from. You, if you would like, can make a nature roll. That would be a more difficult one, especially if the creature is in fact magical in nature. However, yeah, looking through, this does not match any creature you've ever encountered before. Nothing that's even magicals. The bones at first appear as if they had come from a humanoid creature. However, you can definitely see that a lot of the bones themselves look as if they've been fused together and grew that way, or possibly split apart. It is from no animal that has ever existed as far as you're aware.
Okay.
Well, no creature that, you know, naturally existed.
Alright.
Were these bludgeoned to death?
You're not able to determine, especially with the Fern with the 14 medicine. She doesn't notice anything that appears to be bludgeoning. The bones themselves are difficult to tell, as they are certainly not natural, so any damage done, she doesn't know if that was through anything that's broken them, or if they were meant to be that way. But it does not appear as if they had been, like, smashed. You don't see any, like, smashed skulls or breaks in the actual bones themselves.
Graham's gonna look around the area just for mundane stuff.
Sure. Give me an investigation roll, please. Okay. Graham, this appears as if it was probably initially a guard post. You can see that there is a bed, a small table, and a chest. You can see that resting on the chest is a very old sword. It is a old Arwellan style long sword. It does appear to be in good shape, but definitely covered in a thick layer of dust as well as a number of cobwebs. In the corner you can see an armor stand. The actual armor itself appears to be, well, you're not sure until you actually clean it off, but it does look like armor.
Are you grabbing that long sword, or that sword?
Before we grab it, I want to see if we can tell if it's trapped, if it's around a trap, if it's cursed. Do you have detect magic?
I do have detect magic, and I can do. Oh, I can't.
Oh.
Silence. Well, actually, let me check.
It may not have.
I'm pretty sure it is vocal. What the heck is it? Somewhere on here.
All right. Yeah, verbal and
Yeah.
somatic.
Okay.
So you're able to, like, move your hands around,
Yeah, I can't do anything.
but no magic words come out.
Can I arcana it to see maybe if I get a sense of that it's cursed?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good luck.
Thank you. I will need it, good saw. Show me magic.
looking over the sword, it does not appear to be cursed or magical in any real nature. You don't notice any kind of etchings on it that would be the magic runes or glyphs. The sword does not give you that idea of being cursed from your initial overview of it.
Here's a thought. Can I make a history check to see if it happens to match like the design notes we've seen about the Chaos Blade or the prototype of it?
Yeah, go ahead.
24.
All right. This blade you can determine is a kind of standard Arwellan soldier sword. The long sword style would be very popular. You suspect probably around. It would have been popular in the 800s. Is when it kind of came to prominence. That would match the kind of time frame of not necessarily when Zapfeller was active, but it remained a kind of popular style for a couple hundred years after that. Looking over, you suspect this is probably a sword that was created probably around the 1200s in a 800 style, during a brief period when utilizing older kind of sword forging techniques had kind of come into vogue.
Okay, makes sense. Graham will write all that down and then take the sword carefully.
The sword is a very fine steel longsword. Dirty. Could use a little work, but you suspect that if you wish to use it as a longsword now, it would act as a very nice longsword.
Graham will write, does anybody want to hold on to this, or should I hold on to it until we can identify it?
I can hold
You
on.
can carry that, Graham.
You're going to carry that way.
I can hold that if you want.
Sure.
You have within your hands what you suspect to be a probably 800-year-old sword.
Pretty old.
800.
If that makes it valuable, then
year
good find.
long
See,
sword.
the nice thing about fantasy settings is I can throw out hundreds of years periods, and it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
All right. I now have in my possession 800-year-old longsword. Also, apparently, I have a potion of growth. I forgot about.
I do remember you purchasing that at some point. Yes.
Okay.
And there was also armor?
Yep.
Yep. Let's look at that. I will assist him in looking at that if you would like me to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the armor itself is kind of covered in a layer of spider webs. From your initial overview, it looks to be made of metal with a kind of leather underlay. You probably have to clear off some of the spider webs to get a further look at it.
Right. Graham will give it another investigate before clearing it away to look at it more closely.
I will help him if he wants my help.
Yeah,
Sure.
I do. 19.
Okay. Graham, before you actually clear it off, you give a quick overview, kind of look around it, get a better idea of the armor. You suspect this is a breastplate. It looks as if it has had a little bit of wear, as it had been worn before, but appears to be in good condition, as it does not appear to have any kind of like dings on it or scratches. Somebody who obviously owned it did their best to take good care of it.
Alright. No signs of traps or pressure plates or magical chicanery?
Not that you can see upon it.
Okay.
You want me to arcana it to see if it's magical in nature?
Yeah.
I showed arcana it.
Build a labyrinth to house his regards.
Otto, you're pretty confident that there is no magic that has been placed upon this armor. This appears to be completely magically inert, and you're pretty confident it has never had any spells cast on it at all.
Interesting.
Okay. I will let Mr. Graham know this.
Let's clear it away and examine it.
Okay. As you clear off the spiderwebs, you can clearly see that yes, it is in fact a breastplate, medium armor, popular with guards from circa 1200. It, as you suspected previously, it has seen wear from being used, but whoever owned it has done their best to take good care of it, as it does not appear to have any of the wear that you'd expect. It obviously was probably pretty expensive for whoever owned it.
Okay. Graham will add that to his bag unless somebody else wants to take it, same as before. Graham will hold up the same note on the board, but then cross out the sword and put in armor.
What is this? 800-year-old breastplate?
Yep. If you would like, you can do a history check to get a better idea of it, but
Why?
Gesundheit. I will do that history check.
Okay.
17.
Right. Yeah, Graham. Gesundheit. Goodness.
Bless you.
You got a dad sneeze.
Yeah. You don't have to bless me any further. I may sneeze more. Thank you.
All right, Graham. Yeah, your initial overview of the armor is correct. This was you put it to roughly the 1200s. It was during a time period when the Arwellan Empire actually required their knights and guards to purchase their own equipment and take care of it, where previously they had outfitted the army themselves to ensure proper standardization, which created a sort of strange mix of armor and weapons that were used, with certain ones being more popular for the simple fact that they were easier to purchase, more practical to maintain.
Makes sense. Dungeonomics. Okay. Graham will write all that in his continuing journal.
So 800 years, right?
Yeah. As the present day is 2003 after the city was founded. City
Okay.
of Arwell.
All right, just want to make sure I put. So I now have 800-year-old breastplate in my possession.
Remind yourself it belongs in a museum.
Ancient stuff is not even magical.
Okay, so this is exciting.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Arwellan Empire did use magical oils to treat metal objects to make sure that they did not rust.
Okay. Not only does it belong in a museum, it might also belong in research, so that
It's a pretty standard oil,
okay.
because I don't want to deal with rusty weapons, because
Word.
that's annoying to that's annoying to sort out.
I understand.
All right. Anything else here?
Within the chest itself that the sword was resting upon, you do see 2 sets of clothing. Nothing very fancy, just rough spun shirt, trousers. Looks to be some old kind of a mess kit. And some basically little like knickknacks, a little whittling knife, and some small wooden figures that have been carved, crude, definitely would not be the work of a master artist.
Cool.
I also find some empty water skins, as well as a pack of what initially contained rations. However, over the years, they have been gotten into by small creatures or have just simply rotted away.
Rotted away.
Nothing lasts. Can't have shit in the dungeon. Okay.
So I take it, this room has been investigated.
Yep.
All right. And I assume there was no. It doesn't go any deeper. It's just this room over here, then.
So there is a tunnel heading to the north more, which you see like right here, and then the kind of path that had been kind of dug away to the west.
Okay, so if I go here and I look around over here.
Going there and looking there, you can see that the tunnel does go to the north a bit, from what you can see.
Okay, and I'm being extra careful here since we're probably in a dugout thing. I'm looking for some kind of big monster.
Yeah, we are properly noited.
Yep. What do I see to the northeast if I set myself very carefully here before calling everybody over?
As you set yourself carefully there, you can see a small kind of alcove and a additional path heading further to the north.
No bones, nothing?
Give me an investigation roll.
I'll assist you.
Okay.
Gotta scroll all the way up.
It's like our party motto.
All right, well.
Nice.
It was difficult to see at first with your dark vision giving you only black and white, but with Graham's candle, you can determine that the floor has some kind of strange film over it. So where you don't see any bones, you can see this almost kind of like odd pale pink moss.
Graham is going to point that out right on the board, moss, ? And turn it and ask Fern to look at it with the board.
Thistle writes, no thank you.
My God. We're gonna, I guess we, since we see it, we carefully investigate the area to make sure we're not gonna be ambushed by something while she investigates it.
Okay, if you would like to just keep your eyes out, give me a perception check to make sure nothing is coming your way that would attempt to, murder you.
I will do that.
I too will.
17.
And I do my separate one?
Yeah. Yeah, oh no, you don't see anything. You're fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. We Gucci.
Graham, you keep an eye, just head on a swivel, both to the north and to the east. You don't see anything approaching, as far as you can tell.
Alright.
Do your moss thing,
Yeah.
bunny.
Fern, this would just be a nature roll.
Ta-da.
Alright, yeah, Fern. They described it as moss, and as you approach and take a quicker look at it, this actually looks more like flesh or skin.
Oh,
kind of
good.
draped over, and appears to have capillaries running through it that are transporting blood. Also appears to be some sort of number of tumors across it, small but noticeable. It looks cancerous in nature.
I like that.
Marty's gonna write on her board. Gross. I thought you said this was moss. Why is this some cancerous skin?
Now that he has mentioned that, can I look at it again?
Yeah.
Okay. What would I do? Medicine here? Arcana, maybe?
What are you trying to determine from it?
What kind of creature did this come from, or is this the creature?
Yeah, make an Arcana check in that case. Yeah.
I have a question. For God, Why?
17.
Okay, so this is a creature of magical origin. The flesh itself appears to be created through some sort of a magical experiment that has been dumped down here. It is still living.
Oh, good.
And as for what it's attached to, and you're not sure.
Hey, why does the ruby weapon have teeth? Oh, it's to protect the tongue. Great, I have a follow-up question.
I have many questions is what I'm gonna write. After I let you guys know.
Does this ping, Graham's a religious person, does this ping is like an abomination against God kind of deal?
Yeah, give me a religion roll, Grant.
I will give you a religion roll. 8.
Well, I mean, let's just say that no real high DC to determine nothing to do with God was involved with this one.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's an abomination. Yeah.
So off of, go ahead.
I mean, like, you can think of, like, off the top of your head, 6 different gods who would be real put off by this.
Well, Graham is having this realization. Is this? All I was just trying to figure out. Is this? I guess I follow like the moss or whatever the heck we've determined the body is. Is it connecting to anything? Is it underneath us? Is this floor the living thing?
Yeah, you see it kind of like flows through the tiles that have been placed in, and within the small crevices of the cave wall, kind of flowing through it, growing around and kind of just covering what it can. It sort of gives you the idea of maybe spreading out and looking for food.
Can Graham tell if it's in pain or anything?
Is it carnivorous or like an herbivore?
What do you? I mean, I can take a guess.
I can take a guess too, but
Graham, give me a medicine check to determine if it is in pain or not. Difficult to tell. You'd have to investigate further, possibly by other methods. Fern, you don't suspect this creature is in pain. It doesn't seem to be acting as if it is hurt. It seems to simply be resting. Isn't giving any indication that it is suffering at all.
Phil, I gotta say, this is some of the most fucked up shit.
Does this notice we're here at all, or is it just literally asleep?
Just vibing.
Just doesn't seem to be reacting to you. Although so far all you've done is simply look over it and done a visual investigation of the creature.
Otherwise, this is weird.
Fit. Graham just kind of nods, does one of those like eyes
Like,
wide.
do we ignore ? Question?
I don't think we can, but let's avoid stepping on it if we can. Can we check out other passages that aren't, flesh carpeted?
Yeah, is this
Already?
Yeah, is this the flesh is basically what's stopping us from going this way?
You notice it only covers a portion of the hallway. That after a point it does seem to go back to stone flooring again. That being said, you did not notice any of it on the actual path to the north directly from the staircase you entered in through.
I think go back. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do the flesh floor last. I'm sure we have to go that way, but
Yeah.
Let's take a break on that. Hold off.
And there's nothing to the east, right?
Nope, that doesn't go anywhere, as that is just an alcove.
All right. What's to the north? Let's investigate. Make sure we don't walk into some explosive magical trap that's gonna incinerate the world.
Oh yeah, actually, while you're going through, can you give me a perception check, please?
Yo. Let me open.
All of us?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I'm done rolling high for the day, apparently.
I'm not near my
I'll roll for 50.
thing, but yeah, you can go for me. Or I can assist somebody.
For
As I
5.
roll this, I'm thinking we're in danger.
Phil actually has a good perception.
Yeah.
All right.
Bad investigation, good perception.
Oh no, you're really the only one who seems to notice it. Fern and Fiffle kind of just walk under, but it is at your head height. You notice a strange, what at first you thought was simple stone, but in the light of Graham's hat candle, you actually see that it is in fact flesh-colored. It appears to be a closed eyelid.
Great.
Oh.
Friend or foe?
Why am I thinking beholder?
I think it's asleep. Bill writes, he whispered.
Alright.
Yeah. I assume we get past this without issue.
Doesn't open.
Once we're all safely past, I'm gonna just like stop everybody, put eye lid, and point at it, and then they just get us out of this little area.
Piffle once again writes, no thank you, and he follows you out of here.
Yeah.
Otto thinks it's a beholder, but I don't know if Otto's smart enough for that.
If you'd like, you can give me a Arcana check.
Okay, I kind of. I'm probably wrong.
You don't suspect, you've heard of beholders, you don't suspect this is connected to a beholder. Beholders, can create tunnel systems, but they're a lot cleaner than what you've seen, as they can use like rays to carve large circles, very clean and neat. They also don't, act in this way.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So,
I'm not sure.
Could I do a nature on the eye?
if you'd like, yes. The creature this belongs to is magical in origin. It appears to be a lid from an animal eye, but much larger. You suspect maybe from a gorilla?
Horrifying.
This is where King Kong came from.
While you are investigating this eye and trying to look it over, the lid opens and you see this kind of large, fleshy, watery eye with a slit pupil in the middle, just kind of darting around, looking over the room.
Does it look like it's
everyone
actually
look as friendly as possible.
Does it look like it's fixing on things, like it's actually recognizing them, or is it like a blind eye?
It doesn't appear to be blind. It looks like it's scanning the room and seems to be scanning over your party.
Okay. Graham will wave to it.
Yeah.
Piffle smiles the most friendly smile he can muster.
The
And
eye...
while you do that,
He
I'll be right back.
relaxes his face and he's...
And while you do that, I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. The eye focuses on the wave, but doesn't seem to really do much. Just closes.
Okay. Graham is gonna listen to see if it, he hears anything after that, like something coming or like a distant animal noise or roar.
Graham hears nothing, although with the silence, that's not.
Oh, duh. Guys, I can't hear. I think I've gone deaf. Like that story of this person who took 1,000 milligram edible and is this how my life is gonna be from now on? Is this permanent?
Was that a joke from Ted? Either way.
I think so, but I have a friend who's told me a story about that. That somebody they know actually had that happen at a party they were at.
Yeah, edibles be like that.
These edibles ain't shit. 2 hours later. I have never had that problem because I respect the memes. Anytime I've ever taken an edible, I assume it's going to put me on my ass and move my tolerance through the roof.
Very
Yeah,
good.
if I take anything I think is going to be strong, I just prepare to sleep for 12 hours.
Yeah. Oh man.
I just like don't do that if I'm out and about.
You want to talk about D&D power fantasies?
I just have a thought in my head of just like you all writing on your chalkboards about this. Fiffle just like, I expect to be out of my ass for 12 hours.
It's the only
Graham.
reasonable thing.
Graham's like, I respect the edible.
You gotta respect the edible.
Alright. But yeah, so there is a path to the north. What are you all doing?
Let's check the other way as well. See if there's anything to the right before we go further up.
Okay. So I can't really remember what I've shown you all, but yeah. So you just see like this alcove where the kind of guard had been stationed, but there's no further way further to the right that you can see.
I'm going to investigate that corner just to be thorough before we move on.
Sure.
16.
Yeah, looking at that corner, you do see that there is a small amount of light from your candle going through a crack, and you're able to see that there is behind this alcove a small little additional cave system. Possibly with some work you could widen the gap, but for right now it's merely more than just like a little break in the rock.
Graham will point that out, put a note on it, and make a note to himself to come back later when we've cleared the floor. You know, assuming we don't die.
Yeah.
It's a good note to assume.
You've done well so far.
I mean, 100% of my worst days, etc. Okay, let's head up the bloody path.
Okay.
Real cautious, like.
Synopsis and eyeball?
The eyeball saw us, didn't make any noise or anything. Well, didn't make any other signs other than recognizing us, and then closed, and we haven't seen or heard anything since.
Okay.
Down here at this corner, I found a... We might be able to clear it to keep going that way,
Actually,
but
I'm sorry,
it would take some time, so we're not going to do that now.
It would be this corner right here.
No, the bottom,
Okay.
yeah. Could you put like
on the
a
other
mark or
eyeball
something on
drop.
there so we don't forget it in like a month if it takes us that long?
I will put a little green rectangle around it.
Thank you.
There you
You
go.
are a deer. No, really, I have polymorph. I've turned you into a deer.
Well, just as long as it's not true polymorph.
Just wait till Rami comes back and becomes a pug.
I'm waiting. I'm gonna pugify him no matter what.
He did tell me that if that happens, Graham has to stow his head in with a hammer.
I expect this. But for a brief moment, he'll be a pug and I'll be amused.
Making you the victim.
I would investigate or assist in any investigations headed north.
Okay. I'll give you an investigation roll for whoever is doing that.
I'll assist you, if I can.
Okay.
Okay. Looking forward, you don't see anything out at the Organiza. You do see these two, what appear to be... Yeah, as you look forward and you investigate the room fully, you can see that what it does is there's a tunnel that heads further to the east and a tunnel that heads further to the north, with the amount of blood expanding as you go. Within here, you do see what appears to be 4 tombs or crypts. You can see that the sarcophagus have been placed in 4 corners. This looks like it was possibly used as body storage or a tomb of some measure. You also notice that there is an unlit brazier within the center of the room.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. What's to the east? Is that a stairs?
As you look to the east, you can see that the tunnel expands further. You can see there's a little bit. There are two kind of paths, one heading to the north and a second path also heading to the north.
And to our north, is that a door or anything like that, or is this?
Nope, just more blood.
Let's check to the east first.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Investigate our way there.
Yep.
As you look to the east further, you can see that that initial path is simply just an alcove. Does appear that there is a very thin, like, section that have been carved out. You can see that there are some bones that are stuffed within it, or possibly have been there for another reason. To the north further, you can see that there is a staircase heading further to the north.
Let's investigate our way that way.
And
Go ahead. Well, the stairs are very intimidated by you, Otto.
Oh God.
yeah.
Yes. All right. Looking at the stairs, you can see that they kind of head to the north, and then you see there's another path heading further to the east. You don't notice any traps or anything out of the ordinary. The area is entirely stone. The kind of flesh moss has not grown across this area. Going up to the north, you can see that the stairs, the path kind of, so you go up like a good 3 feet, and then it twists and turns and heads south in a very narrow corridor, or at least narrower than what you're used to experiencing, as it is, you know, good 5 feet of space.
What do I see down that corridor? I peek around.
As you peek down, you can see that there is a path that is heading further to the east, in a section of wall that has been smashed open, torn down, leading to just dirt. There's possibly more, but you'd have to turn the corner to see.
Let us investigate our way there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me.
Looking back and forth forever.
All right. Doesn't appear to be any traps, anything dangerous from where you can immediately see yourselves.
What do I see?
Taps kind of following behind you, looking almost very frightened, as she has never been down this far before.
Doing great, sweetie.
Very, very shaggy in nature.
I'm gonna write.
You have any
anything
goblins
wrong?
next door?
You need a Great Dane to go with her.
Yeah, I'm gonna write toward her like anything wrong. She say,
She writes in Goblin, which Fern. Actually, no, you speak Goblin, right, Otto?
I don't think I think it might be gnomish. I don't.
She writes in Goblin, which Fern can see. Scared.
Okay.
Fern writes scared on her board.
Okay. This is as far as I can see.
So yeah, you can see that there is the tunnel itself kind of twists around, so it goes east and then curves south, and you can see that there is a small thin staircase heading north.
Let's keep going down this way first. To the
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I will investigate and look on the corner.
Okay.
And now that I know that moss flesh thing, I guess that would kind of be a little more obvious to me. Okay.
All right. Yeah. As you look further down, you can see that there is more of the kind of mossy flesh as you look down further through this little cave system. You can see that it is not entirely covering the ground, but it is creating like these patches where it is growing from these kind of cracks, crevices in the wall and spreading and kind of covering the ground where it can. You see that it is receded from areas that are kind of covered in bone. The bone itself has been very cleanly picked without a scrap of anything fleshy remaining. It would be reminiscent of seeing bones in the desert that have been just kind of like bleached clean.
Okay.
As you look further down, you can see that the cave leads to this kind of section. And Graham, you realize, looking down further, that the kind of small little crack in the wall that you looked through previously peered into this cave system.
Graham is going to thoroughly investigate this cave system.
Okay.
I will assist.
Graham, you notice that there are a number of skeletons that have been piled up in the bottom corner of this area right around here.
Oh, where was that?
Right here, just like a big old pile of skeletons.
Do they look like they were moved there, or like manually, or that's where they met their end?
Give me a additional. Give me an investigation roll.
Can I get an assistance on that one?
Yeah.
It is difficult to say. It does appear that they were placed here. And actually, Graham, as you're looking this over, can you give me a religion roll, please?
I can. Nice.
Graham, you normally have at least a slight spiritual resonance around the dead, who would give you ideas about what they experienced, gives you kind of a almost sixth sense in the back of your skull of going on, spooky shenanigans. These skeletons give you none of that. It's like a corpse without any soul attached to it, and even zombies or reanimated skeletons would have some sort of an echo of that. These are completely devoid of that entirely.
Seems not great. Ram is gonna write that down. And he's also gonna write on the board no spiritual signs, and he like underlines no, and he looks a little bit perturbed by that. Hello, buddy.
Yeah, Bud's come to see me.
He must be destroyed.
Is that because he's an android?
Ask him if he has any games on his phone.
Yeah. So that's what you're able to determine looking in this cave here.
Pretty concerning.
Yeah. All I gotta say is something looks like that shit.
Well, there's no Eidos down here.
You're not wrong. Does Graham know of anything that could do that?
Anybody who is proficient in Arcana can roll an Arcana check. Or actually, I'm going to check one final. I'm going to check something just to verify some information.
Of course.
No. Okay. Otto, you're pretty sure there might be some magical way to do this, but you're not sure.
What was it again? Like the soul was removed?
There's no spiritual presence like at all in them, which is very weird.
You know what? I'll roll just for 3 taps, just to say I did.
This kid's a nat 20.
Actually, what was her? 3 taps, gets the 16. She writes down in Goblin a chalkboard and kind of holds it up to Fern. And it just says, like... It says... It's weird to you because it says something along the lines of a wizard make a new wizard.
Based off of that, can I roll again to see if, like...
Yeah,
I
go
can get
ahead.
something?
We did see those notes about cloning, right?
Otto, that gives you the feeling of a wizard who has made a clone of themselves that have never had, like, the wizard's soul go into it.
Upstairs, those 3, the golems and all that. I think we thought they were clones.
They, from from your previous role, you suspected they were experiments in creating clones, but easier. You know that creating a clone is something only a very powerful and well-versed wizard can do, and also is extremely expensive because it requires 1, a lot of gold, and 2, you actually gotta cut away a cubic inch of flesh from person being cloned, which makes them very difficult for creating
I
it.
have a very horrible feeling I might have just figured out what's going on. I think that wall of cancerous flesh is our wizard.
That's what I was thinking.
Was doing the cloning.
And it didn't end too well.
He done messed it up, huh?
Or this is like, they're like, no, this is ideal. Which is much worse.
He's ascended. This is his new ascended body.
Because, I mean, it would give you a ready source of the flesh necessary.
Huh.
And it's clearly alive, doesn't seem to be distressed, and this suggests that prior cloning experiments... I think we're in Spooky Town, guys.
So all those skeletons are clones, or failed clones.
Meanwhile, in Crystal Tower...
Man, maybe he just put too many souls into, like, a clone and he body morphed.
Well, I guess we'll have to keep going and find out. As Graham just has this existential crisis going on.
Like, well...
There's not good.
Okay, Graham will write down the findings as best he can, speculate, and make clear he's speculating in the journal. This is going to be very valuable to some historian someday.
The Crossblades Adventuring Guild was not only an adventuring guild, they were also quite the scholars.
Battle anthropology. Okay, let's keep on exploring, I guess.
Okay. Oh, there's
Alrighty, I
stairs.
guess we want to go up the stairs now?
Sure.
Is that what Mr. Graham wanted to do?
Yeah.
Let's investigate our way uptown.
Okay. Well, what you immediately see is a room that opens up. There are additional bones.
I literally hit that like scroll, like mouse scrolling. what like this laptop, bro?
Well, yeah, you go up, you investigate, you find like a room. It has alcoves to the east. However, what catches your immediate attention is this large ape-like creature, solid white, multiple arms kind of growing off randomly. The creature is bulbous, appears to have these like thick growths on it, additional eyes, tumors throughout the body. It is currently not moving.
Is This is related to the moss thing, isn't it? And the thing we saw, not the moss thing, but the eye we saw.
Could certainly attempt to figure it out.
I'm gonna write on the board and turn it back. Like, is it breathing or is it alive? See if maybe somebody could do a nature check about it.
You just, yeah, if somebody wants to, they can get a little closer and do a perception check or a nature check.
I can do.
I can stand between it and Fern in case she's worried about being smashed into smithereens. I will take the dodge action, though, for that.
Hello, smithereens.
I shall attempt to determine its nature.
It is alive. It is currently sleeping or possibly in a coma. But you can see that it is definitely breathing. You can see that the eyes, the lid, like under the lids, like the lids are kind of like rapidly kind of like twitching.
Okay.
Can we tell how long it's been in this state?
Make a medicine roll. Fern, this creature appears to have been this way for maybe a few weeks. It is... How would I describe this? The creature appears to be in some sort of a coma. It is alive. It has been here quite some time. The area it is in looks like it was chosen purposely. You can see that it has formed a small nest, but it has definitely been here, as far as you can tell, for some weeks. However, you do note that it does not appear to have lost any of its muscle mass.
How is that possible?
Magic.
You do notice that it is resting upon a small portion of the kind of flesh moss that is flowing out from the wall. Not much, but enough for it to actually, for the creature in the moss to like touch.
Can we tell, like, is the moss behaving differently where they're touching?
Give me. Okay, you can do what? You can do a few different rolls. You can do another medicine check. You could do a perception, an investigation, or possibly even an arcana, and each of them is going to yield different information.
I will investigate.
I will do arcana.
Perception.
15.
Okay, Graham, from your investigating, you have to get a little closer to the creature, but you're staying, I'm assuming, at like at least a good 10 feet from it.
Yeah.
The moss and the creature look like they have connected, and it's acting as some sort of like a connection tissue. Otto, you're not really sure with that 11. But yeah, Graham, you can definitely tell that it's not just sleeping on the moss, on the flesh moss here.
It's thrown into it.
Yeah.
I figured as much.
that sad little fern.
What did she say?
When I described it as being grown into the creature, she said, "I figured as much."
Yeah.
Oh, bother.
But she definitely was like...
Is the moss feeding off of it?
Make a medicine check. Yeah, Fern, actually quite the opposite. The creature is being fed by the moss.
Ah.
I thought so. That's why it hasn't lost any of its muscle mass or whatever since it's been in the coma.
Yeah. I guess that's a better way I would have wanted to phrase it, but...
Graham just frantically writing down. Also, making very sure that, like, we don't suddenly find ourselves in a pocket of sound. extra aware of that.
I feel like if we separate it, we will kill it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to. The question is, do we need to kill this thing at all? Or fight this thing at all?
Well, what if it's making an army of these things? It just takes a couple.
Well, we won't know till we, get there. Let's ignore it for now and just be aware that it's still there. And keep exploring.
All right, so north. Through here.
Okay. As you go up the tunnel further to the north, you can see that it's basically a long, thin tunnel. Goes up about 25 feet.
Let's investigate. I'll wait through.
Okay.
I will assist you.
Yep, I got a.
Okay. You notice that there are more of these kind of like flesh growths in small patches on the ground here, as it seems to be kind of just these like thick kind of vines of red flesh and the kind of moss growing around and underneath them. There are clear spots where you could step carefully that are still just stone and that are not the moss itself.
Is that the whole room?
Nope, it goes up a little further. You can see that it goes further. There's also a path. So there's a stair you see that kind of curves to the west, as well as a smaller stair that going to the east.
Okay.
And now, Otto, if you would like to step carefully around the patches here, you would need to make a test. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out the best one for you. Probably in acrobatics to kind of carefully step around these without, because
don't wake daddy.
Yeah, basically. That or a stealth check to basically just carefully walk where you would like to.
Roll to walk without rhythm.
I feel like if I step on this, we're fighting this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go back and check the north passage? Or do you want to risk it?
Yeah. Well, is there enough room that we could tiptoe over it?
Yeah, as you approach and you get to the room, like the hallway you're in does not have the kind of moss filling it to the extent. As you enter the room, you see that the very first portion, going about 20 feet, does have like the spots you have to step on carefully. So if you would like to investigate further, you would either have to make that roll, get somebody, or have some way to float above it.
Fiffle, do you feel like you could... Grandma's going to run the board. Do you think you could tiptoe around the floor cancer to investigate up here?
I could try.
Actually, I will grab Fiffle. We'll be right behind Graham.
Floor cancer.
I can't actually see anything. Could I be seeing stuff?
You can see what you can see because...
I got a white screen. I might just need to reload here.
Oh, yeah.
There should be a map.
Yep.
Let's reload this bitch. That is a lot more map like. Okay.
And you're on the right side of the map, kind of in the middle.
Okay. So this is floor cancer.
That is a giant kind of ape creature.
Ape creature.
It seems to be merged with the moss, drawing sustenance from the moss, and asleep or comatose, and we're going to try to avoid fighting/waking it.
Okay. And you want me to poke her on where?
Up here, where we have to step around the moss because we think that it'll wake it up if we step on the moss.
Okay. Piffle goes up here and plays Don't Step on Moss.
Okay, so give me a acrobatics or a stealth check, please, to avoid stepping upon it. Probably the same for Fiffle, no matter what.
Global thermonuclear.
I think they're different for a reason. Like, I think there's an extra boost to stealth.
Probably.
There is. I don't know why. Maybe you just get that because you're a rogue or something, or a halfling. So I'll do that.
Might have expertise or some such.
Yeah.
Well, Fiffle, you are able to expertly kind of step on the small spots where there's none of the actual flesh moss.
The flesh moss is lava. The flesh moss is lava. The flesh moss is lava.
Death pocket.
As you're kind of stepping carefully, you can see that the moss kind of writhes a little bit as like a kind of strange carpet, as it just kind of like slowly expands and contracts. Sort of reminds you of breathing or maybe a muscle contracting.
Undulation.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Undulating.
I've been known to undulate in my time.
Yeah, Fibble, you notice that there is a little hallway to the east, and there is also a small hallway kind of to the north that kind of turns to the west.
We'll explore a little further.
Okay. Which way would you like to go? East or west?
West.
Okay. As you look through, and you have the goggles of night on, so you can see that there's a small little alcove, and the tunnel continues further to the north.
Does the stuff continue?
Nope. After about 20 feet, you're able to see less of the flesh to the point where you can safely walk without having to worry about stepping on it. It is mostly just kind of around the edges and corner of the actual hallway, so as long as you walk in the center, you'll be fine.
And how about this way?
Down that way, you do see that there is a small amount of it, and you can see just around the corner there it continues further to the south. This hallway is definitely filled with enough that you would need to actually step around it still carefully and safely. Unless you want to touch it, of course.
Okay, so I'll kind of go back and say, well, were you looking to go in the direction of more flesh moss or less flesh moss?
Yes. Both.
So you have to choose, is what I'm saying. So one way there's less, and the other way there's more.
Let's go towards less for now, because maybe we can get up there.
Okay. So you think I can, having crept through here successfully, tell them where to step?
I would do a group stealth roll. So I would have everybody roll stealth, and if half or more people succeed, then you are able to walk across it successfully.
So Piffle writes on the board, walk this way, and beckons.
Roll to walk without rhythm.
Then he does the hunchback walk.
That'll bring up 3 taps.
This
So
one I need to pass without trace.
3 taps is going to...
Can I get the halfling luck?
So
Wow.
I need to also roll. That's okay though. That's my reaction. So yeah, you can have my reaction. I'll probably be okay.
3... Oh, well, there you go.
3 taps also get a nat 1?
She did, yes. Which is funny, because you rolled the...
If this isn't too meta, maybe have Fiffle give her the reroll, because I think Graham's going to fail no matter what.
Okay.
Unless I roll extremely high. That's my thought, anyway.
3 taps sees a little halfling wink, and she rolls a smidge... Bro, she was rolling with a +6, and her dex isn't that bad.
Jeez.
She's about to step right on that stuff when Piffle adjusts her.
All right, so we have a 2, a 17, a 23, a 12, a 10, and did auto roll.
Wait, I had to step away because I thought like something happened. What? Tell me what
We're
to do.
doing a group stealth
Aurora
check.
has +3. She gets my proficiency.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so that's actually a 15. Okay.
Group stealth.
Okay. So, let's see here. I'm going to look through this real quick.
We're gonna keep 3-tap alive, so Goblin Leader's gonna have to be 3-tap soon.
Okay. With the assistance of Fiffle, Fern, and funny enough, Aurora, the 3-tap, Otto, and Graham are able to be kind of like carefully guided through, and you are pretty confident you do not step on any of the moss.
Where are we headed? North? Which way were we headed? North?
Towards the west.
Yeah. North was the direction that had less of the moss.
Okay. So I got it over here. Okay. So there, I assume there's nothing in this room to the left?
In this room to the left, immediately there, you don't see anything. You just see that there is a staircase kind of heading up another few feet to the east, kind of like twisting around and turning.
Okay. I guess I'll investigate my way downtown, uptown, left town.
Uptown Rat. That's a very cute, nice hat.
Within the room itself, you do see that there is another one of those gorilla creatures that are kind of comatose, resting on another kind of mass of the moss. This one, however, as you enter in, its eyes begin to like just open up, and it kind of looks at you, and we are going to end the session here, and we're going to pick this up next week.
Randolfo.